Hello students, peace be upon all of you. As you can see in the title of the video, in this video we are going to cover how to find the area and the perimeter of a rectangle and a square. Alright, now let's draw these shapes out. So we have a rectangle here. Rectangle, it has what? It has a length, and it has the width. Alright, this is called This is called a rectangle. And it has 4 right angles. Remember, and when it comes to geometric shapes, the number of sides of a shape is equal to the number of angles in the shape. Okay, so if the shape has 4 sides, then it has 4 angles. If it has 3 sides, then it has 3 angles. If it has 6 sides, then it has 6 angles. So the number of sides is always equal to the number of angles. All right. Now we have a square on the other side. We have a square on the other side here. Square. So these 4 right angles. So each angle is Each angle is 90 is a 90-degree angle. Same with the square. 4 right angles. Each angle is a Is a 90-degree angle. Length again. Width. All right. These two shapes, This is a rectangle and this is a square. These two shapes have the same number of sides. 4 sides, 4 sides. This shape, the rectangle, has 4 right angles. A square has 4 right angles as well. The rectangle has a length and a width. A square has a length and a width. So what's the difference? The only difference is that a square has all 4 equal sides. Unlike the rectangle, only these 2 sides are equal. So the length here is equal to the length here, and the width here is equal to the width here. So these 2 sides are equal, and these 2 sides are equal. In a square, all sides are equal. In other words, I can tell you that a square is a rectangle, but it's a rectangle with It's a rectangle with equal sides. So a square is a rectangle. It's a rectangle that has all equal sides. Okay. And if your shape is a rectangle with unequal sides, then you just call it a rectangle. But a square is still a rectangle, but we just call it a square because it has all equal sides. All right. So that tells us that every square is Every square is a rectangle, but not every rectangle is a square. So every time you see a square, you can also call it a rectangle because again, it's just a rectangle with all equal sides. But when you see a rectangle with unequal sides, you just call it a rectangle because we can't call it a square. Alright? So all squares are rectangles, but not all rectangles are squares. Remember that. All squares are rectangle, but not all rectangles are squares. Repeat that part of the video if you have to. Okay? I'm gonna say it again at the end of the video. Alright? So let's jump onto, since I told you this is also a rectangle but all equal sides, but it just has all equal sides, then they have the same way of finding the area, and both shapes have the same way of finding the perimeter. So let's jump onto that. All right. So I'm trying to find the area, and we're trying to find. Let's write this in a better manner here. Let's say this is area, and we have trying to find the perimeter. Awesome. All right. So there you go. We have a rectangle. Okay. This is the length. Remember, with rectangle and squares, you must have You must have 4 right angles. Each angle must be a 90-degree angle in order for it to be a rectangle, and in order for squares to be squares, they must be They must have a 90-degree angle on each angle, okay? Because the 4 sides equal 4 angles, each angle is a 90-degree angle. Length and width, alright? Or we can just say L, W. Alright? L, W. Alright. How do we find the area? What is the area? The area is the space inside your shape. So let's say you have a small soccer field that you and your friends play in, all right? Football, soccer, or tennis yard, whatever you have, or whatever that you've visited before. But let's say you have a field, okay? And that field looks like a rectangle. It has a rectangular shape. That rectangular shape, the space inside that rectangular shape, or the space inside that field or that yard, it's called what? It's called the area. The space inside the shape is called what? It's called the area. So when you see the shape, when you see any shape in real life or any shape on paper, the space inside the shape is what? Is called the area. Now, the distance around the shape, so the distance around your field is called what? It's called perimeter. So the distance around the shape is called perimeter. Alright, again, if this is the length, L, this is also L, and this is also W. So how do we find the area? How do we find the space inside the shape? All we have to do is take the L, the length, and multiply by W, the width. L times W. You have the length, you multiply by the width, you're done. You have your area. Okay? How do you find the perimeter? We said the perimeter is the distance around our field or yard or our shape. Okay? It's the distance around our shape. So how do we find the distance around our shape? We just add this plus that plus that plus that. So the total distance around our shape will be, we'll get it if we add all the sides. Add all the sides. Alright? In other words, we're gonna get L plus another L. Right? Because there's two lengths here. L plus this side plus this side. So L plus L. And W plus what? W. Plus W plus W. We've added all the sides, okay? This is the same thing as doubling the length, right? Because if you have, let's say you have 4 plus 4. What's another way of writing 4 plus 4? You're doubling the number. What's another way of saying 4 plus 4? You can just say 2 times 4. Because 4 is being added to itself. So instead of saying 4 plus 4, you can say 2 times 4. Because 4 plus 4, you'll still get the same answer. 4 plus 4 is 8. 2 times 4 is also 8. You can, instead of saying 10 plus 10, you can say 2 times 10. Because 10 plus 10 is 20. 2 times 10 is also what? It's also 20. So length plus length. What's another way of saying that? We can just say 2L. 2 times what? The length. Alright? 2 times the length. There you go. 2 times the length. Same thing here. Instead of saying W plus W, we can just say 2 times the width. So you multiply your length by 2, multiply your width by 2, add them together to get the what? The perimeter. If this is complicated for you, you can do what? You can just add all your sides together. Alright? Add all your sides together. Same thing for a square. Same process works for a square. Because a square is a rectangle was what? A square is a rectangle with all equal sides. Let's jump on how to find them in real life. Let's jump into take all of this into action. All right. Let's take all of this into action and apply it now. All right. So we have a rectangle. Here's a rectangle. Let's say this is 4 meters and this is 3 meters. Let's say you have a field that the length of it. Let's fix the shape here. There you go. There you go. Let's say this is your length of your field is 4 meters. The width of your field is 3 meters. How are you gonna find the area? How are you gonna find the area? We said the area is what? Length times width. Awesome. Length times width. What's our length? 4 meters. What's our width? 3 meters. 4 meters times 3 meters. Awesome. How much we're gonna get? What's 4 times 3? That is 12. 12 meters what? 12 meters squared. Now you may ask me why meters squared? Because that's a meter times another meter. When we multiply units by themselves, we have to square them. So at the end, when you try to find the area of any shape, always square your units. If this is feet, you just say feet squared. If this is centimeters, you say centimeters what? Squared. If this is miles, you say miles squared. So the length of your field or the length of your shape is 4. The width of your shape is 3. We just multiply these two numbers and get the area. We get the space inside the shape. Now we want to find what? We want to find the perimeter now. What's the perimeter again? It's the distance around your shape. So if this is 4, this is also 4. Right? If this is 3, this is also 3. Length, length, width, width. Alright, we said we have to do what? We have to add all the sides together. 4 meters plus 3 meters. Okay, 4 meters plus 3 meters. Plus what? Plus 4 meters again. Plus 4 meters. Plus 3 meters. Plus 3 meters. What are we going to get? So 4 plus 3, that's a 7. 7 plus 3, that's 11. 11 plus 3, that is 14. So 14 meters. That's your what? That's your perimeter. So area, length times width. Perimeter, just add all the sides. Add all your sides. Okay? Let's try a square. Alright? Same idea. Same idea of finding what? The area and the perimeter. So we have a square. We have a square. There you go. This is 6 meters. Alright? If this is 6 meters, then this is 6 meters, then this is 6 meters, and there you go. And that is also 6 meters. How do you find the area? Same thing. Length times width. Length, width, 6 times 6. So 6 meters times 6 meters. How much is that equal to? 36. Meters what? 36 meters squared. Because we're multiplying m and m. Okay? Perimeter. We'll just write P. Okay? Just a shortcut for perimeter. Add all the what? Add all the sides. So 6m plus 6m plus another 6m plus a fourth 6m. Alright? 6 plus 6 is what? Is 12. 12 plus 6 is 18. 18 plus 6 is 24. 24 meters. That's the perimeter and that's the area. Again, for rectangles and square, the area, you're taking the length, you're multiplying it by the width. For rectangles and squares. For perimeter, same thing. You're just adding all the sides of the shape. For both for rectangles and for squares. Recap. Remember, a square is a rectangle, but it's a rectangle with all equal sides or all equal 4 sides. All right? All the sides are equal in a square. It's just a rectangle with all 4 sides equal to each other. Or all 4 sides the same. I hope you guys found this helpful. If anything is unclear, I recommend that you go back to that part of the video that was unclear or replay the video. If you have to, just make sure you focus and be careful and some of the things that I said about squares and rectangles, okay? Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. We'll see you next video.